Thank you for joining me on Wilderness with Amani. I'm going to try to get to Kirman, which is pronounced Carmen Lake in the Humboldt Toiyabe National Forest. The special regulations are just artificial lures. And the minimum size 2 trouts is 18 inches. And then it's closed after the regular trout season. I looked at videos and I looked at pictures from this lake. It's supposed to have really big brook trout and Lahontan cutthroats. And it looks like they catch some large fish in this lake. The problem is, it says everywhere that it's best to have a float tube because there's reeds and there could be algae. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to approach this lake effectively from shore. I'm going to have to go see. Because if lakes are shallow and they grow weeds, it's still warm enough where the weeds are going to be bad. But we'll just have to see. I have no idea. The descriptions say you have to walk 3 miles on a private road. So, and to behave yourself so that the access doesn't get closed. So I don't know. So I'm just going to start hiking down this road to see what's going on. Here's the sign that makes me think I'm in the right place. There's a ladder over the fence, and there's a fishing notice right here. And I read in the readings that the turnout has a sign that's hard to see from the road, which this is. And it's Kirman Lake, K-I-R-M-A-N, but I think it's pronounced Carmen Lake. And we're going to pass another lake that's closed year-round in all the tributaries, which means it probably has giant fish in it, but you can't fish in there. So I'm going to start hiking down this dirt road here, and hopefully it takes me to Carmen Lake, or else I drove for 2.5 hours for nothing. So those of you that are familiar with my channel know when I'm hiking, I usually have my small net. But the fish I was seeing in the videos and in the pictures when I typed in fishing at Kirman Lake all showed like large fish. So there's really nothing to show you on this hike that's spectacular. You know, there's a couple of cows out in that pasture. I don't know. I don't really think this is a scenery style place. While I'm walking, I'll fill you in on what I read about this place. It used to be a premier brook trout fishery where there were big brook trout, like the size you'd need to go to Canada to catch. And there isn't any suitable spawning area in there. So they have to plant the fish to repopulate it. And I guess there was a period where the Department of Fish and Game wasn't able to keep brook trout in stock or something. I can't remember what the reasoning was. I read a few things about it. But 3 years ago, they were relocating the brookies out of a nearby creek, and they put 1,300 in there. So 3 years ago should put those fish at a pretty good size now, if they're still in there. And this is a spring-fed lake, and there's tons of food, like aquatic crustaceans and all kinds of stuff. So it has the potential to grow fish really fast. Now, what they did instead of the brook trout is they've been putting in Lahontan cutthroat trout. And from the videos I saw, the Lahontan cutthroat trout here are big. This has its beauty. It looks like something right out of a John Wayne movie. You know? Like when he's fighting Lucky Ned Pepper down in that meadow. That's what that looks like. And it's just dry here, it's arid, it's the Eastern Sierra. I got cows next to the road. I don't know proper cow protocol other than to stay away, but They're going in the other direction, and I'm a big fan of that. In my clumsy exploration of the Owens River video, I didn't know which way I was going. I was walking through these pastures, and the cows started stampeding towards me. And that wasn't a position I appreciated at all. Another cool perspective of the meadow. So I'm at about the halfway point, and I'm at Junction Reservoir, and there's no mistake about it. No fishing. Junction Lake and tributaries, including the lake's outlet stream to Highway 108. And this lake is looking crazy low. So I'm really not sure what I'm marching to up the canyon, because there ain't much going on in Junction Lake. I think I'm seeing risers. I'm gonna watch for a second and see. Yeah, there's fish coming up. Right after Junction Lake, you hike up into this canyon. And in hiking, it's just a straight march on a dirt road. So it's coming up on this, I'm like, don't let that say no trespassing. It says people gate. So I'm people. And whenever you're on private property and they're cool for people to fish or hunt, whenever you see a gate that's closed, you always want to close it behind you. This is the first real uphill I've hit. It's really steep. It's a 3-mile hike, but I'm already probably less than a mile away from the lake. I'm just a little bit past that gate where the people gate was. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm breathing. The walk in here is easy. One of the reasons I'm coming in here to look at it is I want to see if I think it's worth bringing a float tube. Here, Kirman Lake, its tributaries, only artificial lures may be used. No bait or scented products. 2 trout bag limit, 18 inches total length, so that's verified. Here's a fishing survey, so if I catch anything, I can fill one of those out. And I think the lake's right over this. Well, here it is. So far, so good. I mean, I could make it to the water. I made it to Kirman Lake, Carmen Lake. There's a lot of moss and stuff. I'm not even sure I'm gonna fish. I might have to hike out and go find something else, because there's a lot of crap along the shoreline. And the reason this is so full and the other one's not is because this is spring fed. So I'm gonna see if I can catch something in this shallow shoreline that's got a bunch of moss. I'm not sure, but that's the walk-in on the road. I'm gonna go take a look, and if I don't get anything today, I'll come back another time. So I've walked the shore. It's really shallow. There's a lot of reeds, and it looks like you really need to be able to get out in the middle if you're gonna do anything decent. With that said, I'm gonna throw on a lure on my spinning rod and just see if I can see anything, but I really don't think I'm gonna be fishing here today. I think I'm gonna fish here for about a half an hour and go try to find something better. So I figured I'd better make a few casts before I go. And the only fish I'm seeing jumping are way out in the middle. So I have this crocodile spoon on, and it's the thing that I can cast the farthest, and it's coming to like within 20 feet too short of where I'm seeing the fish. The fish are jumping like dead center. And this thing's got I can get some distance with this thing. I can throw it far. And I brought a bigger spool with line so I can really get it out there, but even with as far as I can cast it, it's just not even coming close to where I've seen the closest fish rise. So I think I'm gonna call this and go see if I can find something else. Because I think I could stand here and throw this thing for hours and I'm not gonna catch anything. It looks like I'm fishing in a farm pond right now. I used to fish farm ponds in Half Moon Bay this big. But I might come back here if I get a float tube when it gets cold before the season shuts down November 15th. Well, I just got here. I mean, I fished for about an hour. It looks like you could walk around and fish, but you can't. There's reeds and there's water. There's a lot of weeds matted up. I posted up on that one rock where I was fishing for a while, and I could cast without getting weeds, but I saw fish jumping way out in the middle. And I put my heaviest Panther Martin on. I threw a Thomas Buoyant for a while, and then I put on a really heavy crocodile spoon that I could wing way out there, but I still couldn't get it within like 20 feet of where they were jumping, where I saw the fish rise. I need to come back when it's really cold. That's when I need to come back here. And I mean, if I had a float tube, I would go out there and I would stay out there and fish, because I'm seeing fish out in the middle. And you could just blow through on a float tube, but I don't have a float tube. And shore fishing here isn't what you want to do. I'm sure if you get up here when it's really cold, shore fishing's probably doable. But anyway, we're gonna have to come back. And I hiked 3 miles in, I'm hiking 3 miles out, and I've only been here for about 45 minutes. So, thank you for joining me in Wilderness with Amani. Until next time.